calm mind does not arise by chance. It is built through repeated moments of choosing reason over reaction, even when emotions demand to take control. You will find peace, not when the world becomes quiet, but when you learn to remain steady in the noise of uncertainty and change. Do not waste your strength wishing life were easier. Instead, prepare yourself to be stronger, more disciplined, and less dependent on comfort. Every hardship you face carries within it the raw material for growth, but only if you choose to see it as a lesson rather than a punishment. What disturbs you is not the event itself, but your judgment about it. Change your judgment, and you change your experience. The more you seek validation from others, the more you surrender control over your own peace. For true contentment is an internal decision. Train your mind to accept reality as it is, not as you wish it to be, and you will remove much of the suffering you create for yourself. A person who has mastered their desires is richer than one who possesses everything, but remains a slave to endless wanting. Do not fear loss, for everything you have is temporary. Instead, focus on using it wisely while it is still within your reach. Strength is not shown in loud reactions or dramatic gestures, but in quiet restraint and the ability to remain composed under pressure. If you allow every inconvenience to disturb you, you will never know peace. Learn to distinguish what truly matters from what does not. The discipline you practice today becomes the freedom you enjoy tomorrow, because self-control creates stability in an unstable world. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control how much space their actions occupy in your mind. Happiness is not found in acquiring more, but in appreciating less dependence on what you do not truly need. When you stop resisting what is inevitable, you free your energy to focus on what is still within your power to change. Your thoughts are the foundation of your reality. If you train them well, your life will follow in the same direction. The strongest individuals are not those who avoid difficulty, but those who face it without losing their inner balance. Do not measure your life by external success, but by the consistency of your character and the clarity of your mind. Patience is not passive waiting, but active endurance, with the confidence that your efforts will shape the outcome. A wise person does not react immediately because they understand that time often reveals what emotion tries to hide. If you wish to be unshaken, build your peace on principles, not on people, outcomes, or temporary situations. The less you depend on external circumstances for happiness, the more stable and resilient your inner world becomes. Every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to strengthen your ability to endure and to act with intention. Do not chase pleasure at the cost of your discipline, because what feels good now often weakens you later. A clear mind is achieved not by eliminating challenges, but by learning to see them without distortion or exaggeration. Your energy is limited, so spend it on what you can control, and refuse to waste it on what you cannot. True freedom comes when you are no longer controlled by fear, desire, or the opinions of others. The path to strength is built through small, consistent acts of self-control that others rarely notice but always matter. When you accept that nothing is permanent, you begin to value everything more wisely and cling to nothing unnecessarily. You do not need the world to be fair in order to act with integrity, because your values are not dependent on circumstances. A steady mind can turn even failure into progress because it focuses on learning rather than complaining. The more you practice gratitude for what you have, the less power your unmet desires will have over you. Your peace is too valuable to be sacrificed for temporary emotions or meaningless conflicts. Do not seek to avoid pain, but to understand it, because understanding transforms suffering into strength. A person who controls their reactions controls their life, regardless of what happens around them. You become what you repeatedly choose, so choose discipline over distraction and purpose over impulse. When you stop comparing your life to others, you reclaim the focus needed to improve your own. The mind becomes stronger each time it chooses calmness over chaos and clarity over confusion. Accept responsibility for your thoughts, because they are the starting point of every action you take. You cannot avoid all storms, but you can learn to stand firm in them without losing yourself. The fewer expectations you place on the world, the less disappointment you will experience. A wise person understands that control is limited, but effort is always within reach. What you think about repeatedly becomes the direction in which your life moves. Do not let temporary feelings dictate permanent decisions, because emotions pass, but consequences remain. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, not the quantity of your possessions. True resilience is built when you continue forward without needing perfect conditions to begin. You do not need approval to live rightly, only the discipline to act according to your values. Peaceful life is not an accident, but the result of intentional thinking and consistent self-control.